Good morning, everyone. Today, I want to share a simple truth that can transform your life. Every single day is a new chance to get healthier. Now, let's think about that for a second. Most people believe health is something complicated, something you either have or don't have, something that requires big sacrifices or waiting until the perfect Monday to start. But the truth is, your body is designed to heal, repair, and regenerate every single day. Your body resets daily in ways that most people don't even realize. Every single night while you're asleep, your body is working behind the scenes. Cells are repairing, hormones are being balanced, and your brain is sorting and cleaning itself. This is why the concept of every day is a new chance to get healthier is not just motivational talk, it's actual physiology. You are not the same person today as you were yesterday at the cellular level. Billions of cells are replaced on a daily basis, and in just a few months, most of the tissues in your body are almost entirely renewed. This means the choices you make each day, what you eat, how you sleep, how you move, directly influence how well that reset process works. Think about your liver, for example. It's the most hardworking organ when it comes to detoxification and metabolism. Every day, your liver cells are filtering blood, breaking down toxins, and managing fat. When you give it a rest from constant snacking and processed food, even for just one day, it starts shifting gears into repair mode. Likewise, your digestive system is constantly regenerating. The lining of your gut, which is crucial for nutrient absorption and immune health, is renewed every couple of days. That means the gut you have right now could be stronger and healthier than the one you had a week ago, provided you feed it the right foods. That's the power of the daily reset. Hormones also respond to the choices you make each day. Cortisol, insulin, growth hormone, all of them fluctuate based on your actions. Skip a high sugar breakfast today and your insulin stays more stable, which means less fat storage and more fat burning. Get to bed at a reasonable time tonight and your growth hormone rises, giving your body a chance to burn fat and build muscle while you sleep. Even your brain takes advantage of this reset. The glymphatic system, a kind of cleaning crew for your brain, works mainly during sleep. It clears out damaged proteins and metabolic waste so your brain wakes up sharper, clearer, and more focused. The beauty of this daily reset is that you don't have to be perfect. Maybe yesterday you slipped up, ate too much sugar, or skipped your workout. That damage doesn't have to follow you into today. The moment you wake up, your body is already set up to heal if you give it the right environment. Drink more water, cut down on processed food, take a short walk, and your cells immediately start responding. Health is not something that requires years of waiting. It's something you can notice almost immediately. Energy levels rise, cravings start to calm down, and sleep improves. These are signs that the body is already using today as a chance to get healthier. What's important to understand is that the body is incredibly forgiving. It doesn't hold grudges about the past. It's focused on survival, repair, and growth in the present moment. This is why people who change their habits often feel better within days, even if they've neglected their health for years. The body just needs a signal that you're ready to support it, and it will do the rest. One good meal leads to better blood sugar control. One period of fasting leads to autophagy, the process of cleaning up old damaged cells. One night of proper sleep resets your hormones in ways that medications often cannot. So when you think about getting healthier, don't think in terms of months or years that seem overwhelming. Instead, think about today. Ask yourself, what can I do in the next 24 hours to give my body what it needs? Because tomorrow you'll get another chance and then another. Each day is like a fresh page, and the choices you write on that page are what determine your long-term story. The reset happens whether you like it or not, but the outcome depends on what you feed into it. When you see health this way, you realize that no matter how far off track you've gone, you're always just one day away from starting again. Small changes matter far more than most people realize when it comes to health. There's a common misconception that you need to completely overhaul your life overnight to see results. People often think they need to spend hours at the gym, cut out every single bad food, or stick to a rigid, perfect routine to get healthier. The reality is that the body responds positively even to tiny adjustments, and those little steps add up faster than you might imagine. When you understand that small changes trigger big shifts in your body's chemistry and energy, it becomes clear why they are so powerful. Take food, for instance. Swapping one sugary beverage for water doesn't seem dramatic, but it immediately lowers the demand on your pancreas to pump out insulin. Over time, consistently choosing water instead of soda keeps your insulin levels more stable, reduces fat storage, and gradually shifts your metabolism toward fat burning instead of sugar dependence. That one small decision, repeated daily, can ripple into less weight gain, fewer cravings, and more energy. Similarly, deciding to add a handful of vegetables to your meals might not feel like a breakthrough, but those extra nutrients feed your microbiome, improve digestion, and give your body the vitamins and minerals it craves. Day by day, the results compound. Exercise works in the same way. You don't need a 2-hour workout to start getting healthier. Even a 10-minute walk after meals significantly improves blood sugar control. This simple habit helps your muscles absorb glucose more efficiently, reducing the spikes and crashes that leave you feeling tired. Over time, short walks strengthen your cardiovascular system, increase endurance, and lower stress hormones. If you add just a few minutes of movement each day, the long-term impact is enormous. Small, consistent actions always outweigh occasional massive efforts. Sleep is another area where tiny changes make a huge difference. Going to bed 30 minutes earlier might not sound like much, but can completely change how your body repairs itself overnight. Growth hormone, which helps burn fat and build muscle, is released during deep sleep. Cortisol, your stress hormone, naturally lowers when you rest properly. By simply shifting your bedtime slightly earlier, you improve your hormone balance, memory, and energy levels the next day. Again, it's the small, consistent adjustment that drives noticeable results. Stress reduction works in the same pattern. People often think they need hours of meditation or a complete lifestyle change to manage stress, yet even a 5-minute breathing exercise or a short break outdoors can reset your nervous system. Small breaks reduce cortisol, lower blood pressure, and calm the mind. Practice daily. These little stress relievers become powerful tools that keep you healthier and more resilient in the long run. The key is that small changes are sustainable. It's easy to quit when your health plan feels overwhelming, but it's almost impossible to quit drinking one more glass of water, adding one more vegetable, walking for 10 minutes, or going to bed half an hour earlier. These adjustments fit into your life without disruption, which is why they actually last. When you repeat them over and over, they create momentum. Your body adapts, and what started as a small step becomes the foundation for bigger progress. So instead of aiming for perfection, aim for progress. Each time you make a better choice, even if it's tiny, you're signaling to your body that it's moving in the right direction. Over weeks and months, those small changes accumulate into dramatic improvements in weight, energy, mental clarity, and overall health. The truth is, the body doesn't need a perfect routine to start improving. It only needs consistent signals, and those signals come from the small changes you choose to make today. Yesterday doesn't define you because the human body is designed to adapt and move forward, not stay locked in the mistakes of the past. Too often, people believe that one bad day, one poor choice, or even years of neglect determine their future health. This belief keeps many individuals trapped in cycles of guilt and frustration, thinking that since they slipped once, they might as well give up entirely. But the truth is, your body is far more forgiving than that. Each day, it responds to what you do in the moment, not what you did weeks or months ago. The past only lingers when you continue repeating the same choices. The moment you change course, your body begins adapting in a new direction. Think about what happens when someone eats a sugary meal. Blood sugar rises, insulin spikes, and fat storage is triggered. That might seem like a setback, but by the next day, your body is already resetting. If you choose to skip the sugar and fuel with healthier foods, your insulin begins to normalize again, your cravings begin to decrease, and your energy improves. The effects of that poor meal don't lock you into a permanent state of damage. Instead, your body adjusts to the new input. The same is true for exercise. If you skipped workouts for months, your body doesn't hold that against you forever. The first time you move again, your muscles respond, circulation improves, and your metabolism begins to shift. Progress may be gradual, but it starts immediately once you take that step. This ability to reset is part of human resilience. Your liver, for example, can regenerate even after years of strain. Your lungs begin to heal within hours of quitting smoking. Your cardiovascular system improves circulation and blood pressure within days of consistent movement. These are not long-term distant promises. They're rapid responses that remind us that the body wants to heal as soon as you let it. Yesterday's habits, no matter how poor, are not permanent labels on your health. They're simply data points that can be rewritten with new actions. The mental side is just as important. When you carry guilt from the past, you create stress, and that stress elevates cortisol, which then affects sleep, energy, and weight gain. By letting go of the idea that yesterday defines you, You reduce unnecessary stress and open space for actual healing. Health is not about perfection, it's about direction. As long as you are pointed toward improvement, your body will meet you halfway. Even if you fall off track, it doesn't erase all of your progress. One bad day cannot undo weeks of consistent effort. The balance tips in favor of the majority of choices you make, not the exceptions. The key is to stop letting yesterday's sabotage today's opportunities. If you ate poorly, move forward with a nutrient dense meal today. If you missed sleep, prioritize rest tonight. If you skipped exercise, go for a short walk now. Each time you choose differently, you're proving to yourself that yesterday is over and that today counts more. The momentum you build from small victories grows stronger than any setback from the past. When you understand this principle, health becomes less about punishment and more about possibility. You don't have to wait for a new year or a new month to start. Every morning is a clean slate, a biological reset, and an opportunity to change your trajectory. What matters is not the mistakes you made yesterday, but the choices you make right now. Each day is a chance to turn things around, and your body is waiting for you to take that chance. Food is chemistry. And every bite you take sends signals to your body that can either build health or break it down. Many people think of food only in terms of calories or taste, but what's often overlooked is how powerfully food acts like information. When you eat sugar, processed carbs, or artificial additives, you're not just filling your stomach, you're triggering hormonal responses, altering blood chemistry, and even influencing how your genes are expressed. Likewise, when you consume nutrient dense whole foods, you're fueling your body with compounds that stabilize blood sugar, fight inflammation, and strengthen every cell. This is why understanding food as chemistry changes the way you look at eating. It's not about restriction, it's about communication with your body. Let's look at sugar as an example. The moment you consume it, glucose floods the bloodstream, insulin rises sharply, and your body gets pushed into fat storage mode. This cycle doesn't just cause weight gain, it also stresses your pancreas, creates blood sugar crashes, and triggers cravings for even more sugar. Over time, these chemical reactions contribute to insulin resistance, prediabetes, and fatigue. But if you replace sugar with foods that are lower on the glycemic index, such as leafy greens or protein-rich meals, the chemistry is completely different. Instead of spikes and crashes, you experience stable energy, reduced hunger, and better fat metabolism. That's not just willpower, it's biochemistry at work. The chemistry of food also extends to hormones that regulate mood and brain function. For instance, certain amino acids from protein are precursors to neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine. If your diet lacks quality protein, your brain chemistry suffers, and you may feel more anxious, depressed, or fatigued. On the other hand, omega-3 fatty acids from foods like salmon or flax seeds reduce inflammation in the brain and improve communication between neurons. Magnesium-rich foods such as spinach, nuts, and seeds help calm the nervous system and improve sleep. These are not vague benefits, they are direct chemical interactions between nutrients and your physiology. Another layer of food chemistry involves inflammation. Processed oils, refined grains, and fried foods promote oxidative stress and inflammation, which damage tissues and accelerate aging. Compare that to cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and kale, which contain compounds such as sulforaphane that activate detoxification enzymes in the liver and help protect cells against oxidative damage. Turmeric, with its active compound curcumin, directly influences inflammatory pathways, lowering markers of chronic inflammation in the body. The difference in how your body feels after eating junk food versus nutrient-rich food is not just psychological, it's the result of these powerful chemical reactions happening on the cellular level. Food also communicates with your microbiome, the vast colony of bacteria living in your gut. When you consume fiber, resistant starches, and fermented foods, you feed beneficial microbes that produce short-chain fatty acids, which lower inflammation, improve insulin sensitivity, and support the immune system. But when you eat processed foods high in sugar and low in fiber, you feed harmful bacteria that release toxins and weaken the gut barrier, leading to issues like bloating, leaky gut, and immune dysfunction. Again, this is food as chemistry shaping your internal environment. Perhaps the most empowering part of seeing food this way is realizing that you don't need extreme diets to change your health. Even small, consistent improvements in food choices shift your body's chemistry in the right direction. Replace soda with water and you instantly lower the burden on insulin. Add a salad to your lunch and you deliver minerals, antioxidants, and fiber that help balance the rest of the meal. Cook with olive oil instead of seed oils, and you reduce oxidative stress in your arteries. These little choices, repeated daily, tip the balance of chemistry toward healing instead of harm. When you begin to respect food as chemistry, you stop looking at it as simply fuel or calories. You realize that each meal is an opportunity to program your metabolism, your hormones, and even your mood. The body listens carefully to the signals you give it, and those signals come directly from what you put on your plate. In the end, health is not random. It's a predictable outcome of the chemistry you create with your food. Fasting gives your body a break. And that simple pause from constant eating changes everything about how your system functions. Most people live in a pattern of eating from the moment they wake up until the moment they go to bed, snacking in between meals, and never allowing their bodies the time to shift out of digestion mode. When you are always eating, your body is always working, constantly producing insulin, constantly digesting, constantly storing energy. This creates a state where fat burning is almost impossible and the natural cycles of repair and detoxification are put on hold. Fasting interrupts this cycle and allows your body to redirect energy away from digestion and toward healing. The most immediate benefit of fasting is the lowering of insulin. Every time you eat, insulin rises, and when it stays elevated, the body cannot access fat stores for energy. By extending the time between meals, insulin finally has a chance to drop and fat burning is unlocked. This is why fasting is such a powerful tool for weight management. It's not simply about eating fewer calories. It's about changing the hormonal environment so the body can tap into its stored fuel. People often notice that once they adapt to fasting, their energy becomes more stable and their cravings diminish because their body is running more efficiently on fat. Another profound effect of fasting is the activation of autophagy. This is a process where the body begins to clean up old, damaged, or malfunctioning cells. Think of it like a cellular recycling program. Instead of allowing weak or toxic cells to linger, the body breaks them down and reuses the parts to create healthier cells. Autophagy has been linked to improved immune function, better brain health, and even longevity. It doesn't happen when you are constantly feeding the body because insulin and nutrient intake suppress it. But when you fast, the absence of food signals your cells to shift into repair mode. This is one of the reasons fasting is often associated with anti-aging effects. Fasting also gives the digestive system a much needed rest. Digestion is one of the body's most energy demanding processes. By pausing food intake, you allow your gut lining to repair, your microbiome to rebalance, and your digestive organs to catch up. People who practice fasting often report reduced bloating, improved digestion, and better gut health overall. The rest period is crucial because just like any system, the body cannot repair itself while it is constantly being used. Giving it downtime allows the repair crew to get to work. Hormonal balance is another area positively influenced by fasting. Growth hormone increases during fasting, supporting fat burning, muscle preservation, and tissue repair. Cortisol, when kept in balance, helps mobilize stored energy. Leptin and ghrelin, hormones that regulate hunger and satiety, begin to function more effectively, which helps reduce overeating. This is why fasting doesn't just help physically, but also retrains your relationship with food. You start to feel hunger in a more natural rhythm, and you're less likely to be controlled by constant cravings. The benefits go beyond the physical. Mental clarity is a common result of fasting because once your body adapts to burning fat, your brain runs on ketones. Ketones are a cleaner and more efficient fuel than glucose, and they provide steady energy for the brain. People often describe sharper focus, more creativity, and greater productivity while fasting. Historically, fasting has even been used for spiritual clarity because it calms the body and heightens awareness. The power of fasting lies in its simplicity. You don't need complicated supplements or strict calorie counting. You simply create a window where you are not eating and you let the body do what it was designed to do, whether it's a daily intermittent fast like going 16 hours without food or longer fasts done occasionally. The principle is the same. Give your body a break and it will reward you with healing, fat burning, and renewed energy. Fasting reminds us that health is not only about what we eat, but also about when we allow ourselves not to eat consistency compounds. And that principle is one of the most powerful truths about health. When you make a choice to eat a healthy meal, to fast, to exercise, or to rest properly, the benefit does not just stop in that moment. It builds on itself, creating a foundation that strengthens over time. The mistake many people make is expecting instant, dramatic results after a few days or weeks of effort. While small improvements can often be felt quickly, the real transformation happens when those efforts are repeated consistently, just like interest in a savings account grows into something significant because of compounding. Healthy habits work the same way for your body. Consider nutrition. If you choose whole foods over processed ones for just a day, you may feel a little more energy or less bloating, but the real magic happens when you keep making that choice over months and years. Nutrient deficiencies are corrected, blood sugar regulation becomes more efficient, inflammation is lowered, and your risk of chronic disease decreases. It's not the single salad or the single fast that transforms your health, it's the repetition. Each healthy meal communicates a signal to your body, and with consistency, the signal becomes stronger until it rewires your metabolism and your physiology. Exercise provides another clear example. One workout may leave you sore or temporarily energized, but if you keep moving your body consistently, the results multiply. Muscles grow stronger, bones become denser, your cardiovascular system adapts, and your endurance increases. Even your brain benefits from consistent exercise as new connections form and cognitive function improves. What seemed small and insignificant at the beginning becomes something remarkable when done regularly. Consistency is what turns effort into transformation. The same principle applies to sleep. One night of proper rest might improve your mood and focus, but consistent good sleep regulates your hormones, strengthens your immune system, and protects your long-term brain health. Missing sleep occasionally won't destroy you, but chronically poor sleep chips away at resilience, while consistently prioritizing rest builds it back up. Compounding here means that every night of quality rest doesn't just help you recover for the next day, it helps you build a foundation that supports all other aspects of health. Consistency also compounds in the way habits reinforce themselves. When you repeatedly make the same healthy choices, they stop feeling like effort and start feeling like part of your identity. First, fasting might seem difficult, but after weeks of practice, your hunger hormones adjust and fasting becomes natural. At first, exercise may feel like a chore, but after enough repetition, your body craves movement. What once required discipline becomes automatic, and the benefits continue to build with less conscious effort. This is the beauty of compounding. It not only multiplies physical results, but it also makes the process easier as momentum builds. It's worth noting that consistency doesn't mean perfection. Missing a workout or indulging in an unhealthy meal here and there does not erase progress. What matters is the majority of choices over time. A single bad day cannot undo weeks of good habits, just as a single good day cannot undo years of poor habits. The body listens to the overall pattern. Consistency compounds in whichever direction you go, so the key is to make sure the majority of your choices point toward health. The longer you stay consistent, the more powerful the effects become. Someone who practices intermittent fasting for a week may notice less bloating, but someone who practices it for a year experiences fat adaptation, metabolic efficiency, and cellular renewal. Someone who exercises for a month may feel stronger, but someone who sticks with it for 5 years has built protection against disease, improved mobility, and a body that ages more gracefully. The rewards expand exponentially with time because each choice stacks on top of the last one, creating results far greater than the sum of their parts. Consistency compounds because your body thrives on repeated positive signals. Every small choice, when repeated, tells your body to adapt in ways that promote strength, healing, and longevity. Over time, those choices reshape not only your health, but also your confidence and your quality of life. What starts small becomes monumental simply because you kept going